I will end Joe Biden's war on crypto, and we will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in America. We're going to keep it right here, and a lot of it's going to be done right here in Florida, right?
Right here in Florida. So Florida is where it's going to be, and if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. You'll hear this a lot more in the next few months. In the United States, candidates will only gain votes for being pro-crypto and absolutely lose them for being anti-crypto. There's no downside to advocating for clear rules of the road for one of the US's fastest growing industries, and that's what the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, has to say. Now we're going to talk about Ripple and XRP, because with Donald Trump being all in on crypto, that basically means he's all in on XRP, because XRP is one of the largest by market cap cryptocurrencies. Now he doesn't directly mention it, but XRP is going to grow with the rest of the industry and arguably at the end of the bull run. And so I'm going to talk about that towards the end of this video, because a lot of people look at it and they are salty because they have no patience. Now taking a pivot from politics really quick, because the SEC's chief of crypto enforcement has left the agency. And at the same time that happened, if we look at XRP right here, you know, anytime XRP pumps, it gets sold off into those pumps. But XRP pumped a little bit. It went up to about 52 cents, but got sold off immediately to 48 cents with, you know, Bitcoin and the rest of the market crashing. And we're going to talk about XRP towards the end of this video and what I'm expecting to happen next. But a lot of people are predicting for Gary Gensler to either get fired or step down. One of those two things needs to happen, because he's been just a massive boot. You know, if you park your car and you get a ticket, it's one thing, but if you get a boot on your tire, you can't drive anywhere. And that's what Gary Gensler has been to the entire crypto industry. So he needs to go. It's very obvious, but the whole crypto market right now is just going through a simple bear trap right now. This is where a lot of people are going to turn bearish. And when they turn bearish, this is where bears get wrecked, because we're in a bull market. And be greedy when everyone is fearful. Be fearful when everyone is greedy. How are people feeling right now? Well, if we go to coinmarketcap.com and we go to the main page, or you go to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, thankfully, CoinMarketCap has added this. People are neutral right now. So the markets could dip a little bit further if we go into fear or extreme fear. You know, if Bitcoin dips down to like $55,000, which is definitely possible. I talked about that in a previous video, because, you know, if Bitcoin didn't break out, we would invalidate the previous bull market cycles pattern compared to now, which I'm going to show on the charts in a little bit. Then we would most likely take another dip that we're going to talk about here on the charts. But the main thing that we need to discuss as we go from hope to optimism to belief, thrill, euphoria at the top of the market is when people get fearful here and they start selling their bags and they start selling all of their crypto. You know, it's okay to take some profits off the table. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to give you financial advice. In fact, I don't know anything that I'm talking about. You're most likely going to lose all of your money in these markets. And my lawyer told me to tell you that you're going to get absolutely wrecked. And these videos are for information, educational purposes only. So do your own research, and you're aware of these risks because you're a full-grown adult. You're wearing some pants, and hopefully you haven't soiled them like Joe Biden. But during the time of a bull run, and when we go back into optimism and people are selling the majority of their portfolio, that's where they miss out big time, because when you take some profits off the table, you're a smart human being. But if you take all of your crypto off the table, it makes absolutely no sense, because in the past 2 crypto cycles, altcoins reached their all-time high exactly 547 days post Bitcoin's halving. And if the cycle repeats, this could be your last chance to buy the dip. However, the key to achieving 100x returns is to buy the right altcoins in the right narrative. So that's why you want to watch this video all the way to the end, because if we look at right now where Bitcoin is compared to the last cycle on basically a fire sale all the way up to maximum bubble territory in the color code on this chart right here, you know, the maximum bubble territory, we didn't reach last bull run cycle. We did a double top, whereas the cycle before then, the cycle before then, the cycle before then, we did. So this cycle, let's say we just reach, you know, sell, seriously sell, or FOMO intensifying, you know, that's looking like $150,000 minimum. And so my price target for Bitcoin is $190,000 this cycle. For XRP to grow, we need to see Bitcoin roll around. We need to see the dominance drop. Looking at Bitcoin's stock to flow model from the days until the next halving, where are we? Well, we're roughly, I mean, we just have, so between 1,400 to 1,200 days. So we're right at red right here. Bitcoin's sitting at you know, $66,000, right? The stock to flow line. I talked about this in multiple videos where I talked about a rally up above the line, then a crash going into Bitcoin's halving. We did exactly what I talked about. Now, I'm not right 100% of the time, but when I am, I'm definitely going to show it to you, and I'm going to explain why this is happening. When we look at the last cycle and we talk about what Bitcoin did, well, it rallied up before the halving and it crashed going into the halving, consolidated. We see it at red right here going into orange, and we just hung out sideways. We didn't do too much. The biggest crash was before the halving. So when we look at the cycle now, well, the crash going into the halving, we did the same thing as we did back in 2016 to 2017. We rallied up before the halving, we crashed in the halving, we consolidated sideways, and then going from red to orange, and then orange to yellow, we broke out. So look at the stock to flow line right here that you could see. It's like dark red on the screen. You know, we follow the stock to flow line on a 4-year market cycle theory. And so where we are right now in comparison to this stock to flow line is we're right on schedule. Nothing is out of the ordinary here, guys. So in the micro, which means day to day, it's easy to get fearful because you look at the chart right here. Well, we're simply making wave 2, corrective wave 2 in the Elliott waves. And Elliott waves move in 5 waves, and then you have an ABC corrective wave on the other side. So during the bear market, we saw A, B, C wave. What happened recently in March was wave number 1, and this was the first wave. What's happening right now is corrective wave number 2. So this is the last chance to buy the dip. Now, I'm not telling you buy the dip, but just based on simple Elliott waves, which a lot of people in trading, I'm not the most professional trader out there. I look at people who are smarter than me. I look at common sense, and I just do that, right? Because common sense isn't so common anymore. So if you do what's common sense and you follow, you know, key indicators and you follow key trading patterns, then you can make a lot of money. And so depending on where wave number 2 comes in, I'm not saying that we're bottomed yet. Like, hey, maybe we come back down for the total 3, which is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. Maybe we come back down within this region right here to back test one of these previous zones as, you know, support, which is 520 billion. Maybe we come back to 450 billion. I don't know. I'm not some Nostradamus here that has all the answers, but when wave number 2 comes in, it's going to be aggressive. It's going to be aggressive when we come out of here. And when we start ripping on out of here, wave number 3 is the most impulsive wave in the Elliott wave. And so that will most likely push us somewhere around $1.5 to $2 trillion, maybe even higher. And then wave number 5 is the final wave. And then what we do after wave number 5 in the Elliott wave, depending on how high we push, let's say we push to 3 trillion, you know, then we do an A, a B, and a C wave all the way to the bottom. So depending on how high wave number 5 goes, nobody knows, no human being on planet Earth. For me to tell you how high wave number 5 will be, I would just be BSing, right? We can do, you know, Fibonacci retracement tools, so I can draw from the all-time high, I can draw to the C corrective wave for the bear market low, and let's say wave number 5 is a 2.618, well, the whole market would be at $2.45 trillion. To do a full extension, it would need to go to $3.8 trillion. And so I think that's possible. I think I'm being conservative saying $2.5 trillion. And so we're just barely starting out this bull run right now. Sure, we're well into it, but the best opportunities, guys, I know you understand this because you're very intelligent. I don't have to insult your intelligence like a lot of people out there to make you feel lesser than you actually are, so you buy their junk products. But the best time to buy is during the C wave at the bottom. That's number 1. The second best time to buy is wave number 2. The third best time to buy is corrective wave number 4. And then the next best time to buy is the C wave during the bear market in the next run. But you don't want to wait until the bear market of the next cycle, because that's going to be probably 2026 or, you know, maybe even later if we have a super cycle. So when we look at the S&P 500, what we're doing right now is very, very similar to what happened back from 1996 until 2000, because we saw a bearish divergence. Now, a bearish divergence, very easy to understand, is you have higher highs on the price chart and you have lower highs on the key indicator that you're looking at. So in this case, the key indicator that we're looking at is the relative strength index that shows the momentum of the markets. And so when you have higher highs on the price chart and lower highs on the indicator, it shows a bearish divergence, meaning that momentum is shifting over from bullish momentum to bearish momentum, because the strength on this index, the relative strength index, is decreasing. And so what we're looking at right now is the exact same thing. We can see higher highs on the price chart So we see bullish momentum on the price chart, whereas the relative strength index topped out at 86 back in 2018, and we're seeing lower highs on the relative strength index. And so how much higher will the S&P 500 go? Not much higher. I think it'll last until end of 2025, and then we're going to go into one of the gnarliest crashes of all time. And I think it's going to happen. And if I draw the chart up, you can see some similarities here. You can see the crash of 1998 leading into the dot-com bubble crash, and that was very similar to the crash of 2022 until during that bear market. And so we're just pushing up right now. So during this consolidation period for the stock market, the S&P 500 is at an all-time high. And so I would expect the S&P 500 to cool off for a little bit throughout this year, maybe push a little bit higher, but ultimately it's going to top out at some point. And when it does, we're going to see, the RSI crash all the way back down to 30. We're at 68 right now. And so if we get rejected from this descending resistance right here on the relative strength index, then the S&P 500 would cool off, and we could have a cool off period in the summer for the crypto market. I mean, the crypto market is crashing right now, but here's what's going to happen next, okay? Bitcoin and altcoins continue to do what they have done every previous cycle. Let's take a look at it. The top chart you can see on the screen is Bitcoin. The bottom chart is others, other altcoins. So think of others as the gauge for how altcoins are performing. If it moves up, altcoins are better to hold than Bitcoin. If it moves down, Bitcoin is better to hold than altcoins. Very simple. As you can see, inside of the red shaded areas, as Bitcoin is charging towards its previous cycle all-time high, we typically see altcoins underperforming dramatically. So it's better to hold Bitcoin during this period, sell out of your altcoins. In each of the previous two cycles, others have dropped aggressively during this phase of the cycle, just like what's happening right now. So when I say we're right on schedule, it's a fact. It's not a theory. So I feel no fear here. I get excited. If other people are feeling fear, it's the best possible time, actually the second best possible time, just like I said, to back up the truck, because it's corrective wave number 2 during the Elliott waves. Also notice the light blue dots, the same market structure each time. So HTF market structure still looks solid here. I think what you're going to see right now is a tremendous discount before alt season. So take it slow, but this type of fear for altcoins is very familiar if you've been around the bull market for a while. If you're first time in the markets, is your first bull run, and you don't know what to expect, people will tell you that this time it's different, but here is the data. It's not currently different. We're extremely long right now. We're extremely bullish, even though I do think the markets will dip a little bit more. Bitcoin could go down to 55K. It's completely normal. So if you want to take some profits, in the markets, I know Paul made a video. If you guys haven't checked out Paul's videos, very, very amazing at trading, understanding, the charts and understanding technical analysis. So definitely pay attention to his videos. He's going to be creating more content on the channel. I'm more fundamental analysis, macro markets, and then some technical analysis here and there. But when we simply analyze the charts, it's very evident what's going to happen next. We're extremely bullish. And so when we talk about Ripple, when we talk about XRP, when we talk about the rest of the altcoin market, Ripple is well positioned for the United Kingdom and European crypto markets. Ripple has won the UK's most prestigious payments award, and Ripple's stablecoin meets all of the MiCA regulatory criteria. Now, the MiCA regulations due in less than 2 weeks should be a big win for Europe in terms of regulatory clarity. And with MiCA, passing the finish line, UK's crypto industry calls for rules of its own. Now, one thing that's very interesting that a lot of people don't understand is that Tether is basically going to be banned from the UK within the next month because they're not passing MiCA's regulations, and Ripple is coming out with their stablecoin. So I want you to put 2 and 2 together there. Now, here's one other thing to put together if you live in the United States. If you don't, JP Morgan of Chase Bank, the largest bank in the United States and the world, the Chief of Regulatory Affairs, Sandy O'Connor, also serves on the board of Ripple. Right here, MS O'Connor retired as the Chief Regulatory Affairs Officer for JP Morgan. Ms. O'Connor serves as the board of Ripple. I mean, come on, guys. If you watch my previous video, it's absolutely insane what's going to be happening. Now, the price action doesn't show that, but every single intelligent person in the crypto market that I have a conversation with, when I ask them about XRP, they're extremely bullish and they hold XRP. You know, I sat down with a banker the other day, and XRP is one of his largest holdings, and he works for Chase. That tells me something. When I spoke with one of the higher ups at Wells Fargo, I can't reveal all the details of that conversation, but they're very bullish on Ripple. I'll tell you that much. They're very bullish on XRP. And that was a year or two ago, guys. XRP is going to be one of the biggest performers in the later stage of this bull run. You just got to hang out. If you smoke cigars, grab a little cigar here. I'm smoking on my Arturo Fuente Opus X. So I am enjoying life right now. I know you're enjoying life. And if you're not enjoying life because you're not where you want to be financially, then what's it time to do right now? It's time to back up the truck all the way to the bank, grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind, because we all believe here at Bull Runners that the spending power of the dollar is going down in value. That's a fact. We all know that. You don't have to debate here. There's no debate, no discussion. Everyone agrees, nobody disagrees that it's a fact because of inflation. Cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology has been going up in value over the past decade. That's the truth. And together, we're all going camping on the beaches of the moon.
So if you're ready to become the first millionaire in your family tree with crypto, and you want to get early access to our underground guidebook to become a crypto millionaire when it's released, then all you need to do right now is go to bullrunners.com, and you're going to get exclusive early access to alerts on explosive altcoins with timely notifications about high potential projects before they hit the mainstream market. You're also going to get access to daily market analysis videos where you can watch daily videos like this to stay up to date on the latest trends and updates in the cryptocurrency market. And you're also going to receive pro trading strategies and tools for you to access proven trading tips and institutional grade indicators to refine your trading strategy. So don't miss out on the launch of our new underground guidebook called Altcoin Secrets that's going to help you discover the next 100x altcoin. All you need to do to get early access is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be instantly subscribed for the early bird list when it's released. We know you're going to love it.